Hi guys, welcome back to another video at Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again, and we are meeting for another video for a legal current affairs for July 2021, which will be important for your CLAT 2022 and AILET 2022. So I will quickly brief you on the newses that are important for your month of July, and you can keep an eye on those newses for your CLAT and AILET examinations. Before we move ahead, a like, share, and subscribe would be great. And if you are looking for joining our Telegram channel, do join it. And it is under the name of CLAT @Pratham. Then, if you are looking for mentorship and any other queries, you can contact us on 5x9753992. Okay, so now coming to the first news for the day, that is the US appointed American diplomat Atul Kashyap as interim envoy to India. Now, this is the person who's appointed as the diplomat, right, as the country's charge the affairs in Delhi. Now, Kashyap is a career member of the Senior Foreign Service, has been appointed as at the place of Daniel Smith, right? So he is taking in India, and also he's an Indian origin, right, Indian American. Now, he has also served as the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of the State of Bureau of Eastern Asia and Pacific Affairs, and as US Ambassador to Sri Lanka and Maldives. So he has a great working history also, and you can see his picture I have attached in the PowerPoint presentation, so you can also remember it from the face of the person. Also, his name is Atul Kashyap, right? He's an interim envoy to India. He's appointed as the Indian American diplomat, right? Coming to the next news for the day, that is the Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary took charge. Okay, there's a question. I'm a Pratham student. I'm preparing for CLAT, but I'm not interested in it. Just doing it because of my family pressure. Okay, that's not something that I would say is good for you, Anushka. Then you should find something that is a passion for yourself, and try doing that also with this. You will be opening a lot of avenues for yourself then. Okay, so Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary took charge as the Vice Chief of Indian Air Force. So that is the new person. These are some of the appointments that we are discussing first. So you will find a lot of appointments right now. So his name is Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary. Now, as the Vice Chief of Indian Air Force. Now, Air Marshal Chaudhary succeeded Air Marshal Harjeet Singh Arora, and we have discussed it in our previous videos about the name of Mr. Harjeet Singh Arora also. Now, there is one more Air Marshal B.R. Krishnan, who took as the Air Officer Commanding in Chief, that is AOC in C of the Western Air Command, right? So these are the people who are appointed newly. Now, Lieutenant General Sanjeev Sharma appointed as the new Deputy Chief of Army Staff. This is also what you can remember, not something really important, but you can keep an eye on this news also. Now, as you all know, that there has been a lot of issues in the new IT rules that have been taken out by the government in 2021, and there has been new policies that have been asked by the government to be put in the social media platform. So there was a rule of putting a grievance redressal officer, right? The grievance officer for India. Now, so Twitter had to put someone on the position. So Twitter appointed Vinay Prakash as the resident grievance officer of India. Now, as this is mentioned under the IT rules of India, so this has to be mandatorily followed by all these social media platforms. Now, it is also called the micro blogging site, right? So the Twitter is also called a micro blogging site, has appointed Vinay Prakash as the new resident grievance officer. Now, there was a previous grievance officer was Dharmendra Chatur, who was earlier there. Now, he quit his position quite less than 4 weeks after occupying the position, right? 4 हफ्ते के अंदर उन्होंने अपनी position को छोड़ दिया था, right? That is what also is mentioned here. चलिए, so the next news for the day is Union Minister Piyush Goyal was appointed as the leader of leader of House in Rajya Sabha. Now, the Union Minister Piyush Goyal, you can see in the picture, you might have seen him in the media a lot. So he has been appointed as the leader of the House in the Rajya Sabha, and he is succeeding Twar Chand Gehlot, who has taken the charge as the governor of Karnataka. So he has been repositioned as the governor of Karnataka. Now, Mr. Piyush Goyal has been a 2 times Rajya Sabha MP and is currently the deputy leader of NDA as well as the union ministry in the cabinet. He is also serving as the Union Cabinet Minister for Textiles, Ministry of Commerce and Industry and Consumer Affairs, right? And he also has the Ministry for Food and Public Distribution also. So these are the kind of ministries Mr. Piyush Goyal has in his cabinet also, and he's been appointed as the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha. Now, coming to the next news for the day, that is the government of Andhra Pradesh announced a new IT policy for 2021 to 2024. Now, this is announced as the policy for these 3 to 4 years, which is expected to generate more than 55,000 jobs in the state over the next 3 years. Right now, according to the note of the new IT policy, Andhra Pradesh will earn a revenue of rupees 738 crores in over 10 years in the form of various taxes. Right, that is what is being said, and that is a huge sum of money that Andhra Pradesh is gonna earn from the whole thing. Now, coming to the next news for the day, that is the Union Cabinet has approved the amendment to the Coconut Development Board Act of 1979. As you can see that there is an act for everything in our country. So there is one more act called the Coconut Development Board Act of 1979. Okay. So the Union Cabinet approved the amendments in this act to make it more efficient to carry out the activities of farming and production of coconut. Right. So this was purely based out of coconut itself. Now, the chairman of the board will be a non-executive member, and now they will carry out the activities related to the development of coconut outside the country too. So this act is making it international and also helping the farmers also in the other way. Now, the next news for the day is Parliament has passed the Marine Aids to Navigation Bill of 2021. So you can see that this is basically regarding the ships and vessels. So this is Marine Aids to Navigation Bill of 2021, which repeals the Lighthouse Act of 1927, and over 9 decade old law. Okay, it is more than 90 years old now, governing the traditional navigation aid, that is the lighthouse. Okay. Now, this is also a bill that is there to provide a framework for the development, maintenance, and the management for the aims to navigation in India. Right. Earlier, it was being lighthouse being used in a lot of cases, but now that is a very, very traditional method. Now they are investing in the new methods, right, and also propose to impart training certification to operators for aids in navigation, development of its historical, educational, and cultural value also. Right. So these are all the things that have been considered in this case, and also this will also help to develop the new navigation aids for people around the country, and also they will conserve the value of this too. Right. So lighthouses has been in use for a long period of time around the world to navigate the ships towards the countries. So definitely that is something that is a new bill that is being passed by the parliament, which will be drawing a lot of attention. Coming to the next news, that is the Bihar Assembly has passed a bill to set up first ever sports university in state. Right. So as you know that Odisha was also responsible for sponsoring the Indian hockey team that went to the Olympics even. So these are the kind of things that the governments have started doing. Now the Bihar Assembly has passed this bill to establish the first sports university and 33.33 seats, 0.33% seats would be reserved for women in this university, right? So that is great. Now this institution will also have training center, colleges of physical education in Bihar. Now they will also be affiliated by this university, so that is something really great. Now coming to the next news for the day, Parliament passed Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill of 2021. Now this is regarding the amendment to the Regulatory Act of 2011 to widen the scope of entities that can engage in factoring businesses. Now, this is also where an entity acquires the receivables of another entity for an amount, right? Factor can be a bank, a registered non-bank financial company, etc. So this is basically a regulatory authority that has been set up. They have passed the bill of 2021. So definitely it is gonna be helpful. It is not a great deal for your CLAT or AILET examinations, but definitely it is very, very important for you to know that there is a new amendment bill that has come up. The next is that the Lok Sabha has passed the Insolvency and the Bankruptcy Amendment Bill of 2021. Now, this replaces the old ordinance of 2021, which was implemented on 4th August of 2021, right? So this is finally passed, right? So this is the new amendment bill that is being passed. Now, coming to the next news for the day, that is that the Supreme Court has ruled that the social media platforms must be accountable, right, for the things that happen on these social medias. As we have seen that a lot of information about uh, the vaccinations and the kind of COVID news that was spreading all around the social media. There has to be some accountability that had to be drawn in front of these websites also. Now, the Supreme Court ruled that the social media platforms with the potential to influence public opinion may be held accountable for the spread of messages and hate. स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड इसमें बोल रखा है कि अगर आप पब्लिक इसमें हो और आप पब्लिक के ओपिनियन को चेंज कर सकते हो इस right, so then you can be held accountable for kind of such kind versus Delhi Assembly case. The Supreme Court bench was of Justice S.K. Kaul and Justice Dinesh Maheshwari and Justice Rishikesh. Now, they stated Facebook like entities like Facebook have to remain accountable for those who entrust them with such powers, right? So simple as that. अगर आपने इतना ज़्यादा आपके पास पावर है कि आप पब्लिक ओपिनियन, आप डिस्ट्रस्ट क्रिएट कर सकते हो गवर्नमेंट में, आप एक प्रोटेस्ट करा सकते हो, तो आपको हेल्ड अकाउंटेबल होना ही पड़ेगा. That is really, really important in that case. Now, the next news for the day is Supreme Court announced to implement system for safe digital transmission of bail orders to jails around the country. अब आपको पता है बेल ऑर्डर लेके आप यहाँ से थाने जाएंगे, थाने से फिर उस बंदे को छोड़ा जाएगा, या वो मेन जेल के अंदर है तो वहां पे वो इंफॉर्मेशन कब तक ट्रांसफर होगी और वहां से वो कब छूटेगा. इट इज अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस, सो इट्स बेटर. सो दे वांटेड अ सेफ डिजिटल ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ बेल ऑर्डर्स टू द जेल्स अक्रॉस द कंट्री. यहाँ पे उनको सर्वर को बहुत प्रोटेक्टेड भी रखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि अगर कोई गलत आदमी का बेल ऑर्डर पास हो गया और वो वहां से छूट गया, so then it will be a very, very difficult task for everyone to understand it. So they want a safe digital transmission of bail orders. That's why now the Supreme Court of India is taking this step so that the authorities do not have to wait for the authentic orders that come from these kinds of courts. Okay. Now, there was a bench that was headed by the Chief Justice of India, that is Chief Justice N.V. Ramanna, and he directed the Secretary General of the Supreme Court to submit a proposal on this safe digital transmission of the bail order scheme, which may be implemented within a month or so. Right. So it is, I guess it would have been started implemented right now. Okay, so Soumya asked me if someone is preparing for CLAT 2023, उनके 2022 या 2021, they have to read the current affairs for 2022, ma'am. अगर आप, if you're gonna give the paper in 2023, then you have to obviously read the current affairs for 2022 and 2023 itself, right? So that will be your window of studying your general knowledge. Chaliye. So coming to the next part is first ever case to be live telecasted decided by Karnataka High Court. Now Karnataka High Court has given the consent to or take the YouTube live as the way that they will be giving their decisions. Now for expansions of the existing Karwar port at Batkol, there was a case that was going on in the village of Karwar in Uttara Kannada district is illegal, right? Thereby, the High Court has restrained the state from carrying out the expansion work until fresh consent of establishment is granted by the Pollution Control Board. So ये केस चल रहा था कारवार पोर्ट के ऊपर, इसके ऊपर उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ लाइव टेलीकास्ट हम दे सकते हैं, right? Now there was a Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court was there in this bench. His name is Chief Justice Abhay Oka and Justice Suraj Govindraj. They have passed this order that was filed by the petition of Batkol Bandru, and this is a very big name. And the other one was the Fishermen Association Forum, because it is a pollution related case also. So definitely there was a Fishermen Association Forum also involved in this kind of a case. And this was the first case where the live telecast was given on YouTube of the High Court itself. So you can see that YouTube is becoming a very, very prominent way of like streaming live content. So definitely YouTube is gonna be a very big thing in the future. Now the next news for the day is the World Day for International Justice was observed on 17 July. So if anyone asks you about the International Day of Justice, that is definitely 17th of July. Now it is observed across the world on the same day. It is also called the Day of Against International Crime Justice, to fight against impunity, bring justice to victims of war crimes, humanity and genocide. Now on this date, what happened was the ICC, right, the International Criminal Court, was formally established in 2002, right, following of the Rome Statute. The Rome Statute is very important. This read in the law, and the theme of the year 2021 is a call for social justice in digital economy, right? So as the economy has gone very, very digital, so a call for social justice in digital economy is the theme for the World Day for International Justice. Now coming to the next part of the day, that is the India's first maritime arbitration setup in Gandhinagar, right? So as you know that the maritime also requires arbitration centers. These laws also requires arbitration centers. So the first one in our country is being set up in Gandhinagar, right, with the International Financial Service Center Authority, that is IFSAC, in GIFT city, to set up in Gujarat International Maritime Arbitration Center, that is called GMAT. Right now, GMAT will be the first of its kind in India to manage arbitration and mediation proceedings for dispute related to maritime and shipping sector in particular, right? So, अगर आपको पता नहीं हो, तो ship breaking laws and shipping laws are very, very complex, and also they involve a huge amount of money in those deals. So definitely, it is a very, very important for these companies to go for arbitration and mediation, because litigation would eat up a lot of money for them. So definitely that is also an option that is available to them now in Gandhinagar. They can go and get into arbitration and mediation proceedings. Now it will be a part of the maritime cluster that is being set up by the Gujarat Maritime Board at the GIF city in Gandhinagar itself. Right now, coming to the next news for the day, that is the Ladakh became the first union territory to achieve 100% first dose coverage. Right, so as in the times of COVID-19 that we are living, so Ladakh became the first union territory to get on the 100% first dose coverage. So that is a really, really important. Now, you have to understand that these kinds of things are very, very important for a country. So that will definitely help us to get out of this pandemic very quickly. Okay, so we require these vaccines urgently, and we should get like incubated as soon as possible, right? We should get the shot as soon as possible. Okay, so this is also a total of 89,404 citizens from all the eligible age groups, including 18 to 44 years, have been administered the first dose of vaccine, right? Just give me a second. There's some technical glitch I'm going forward to. Okay. Yeah. So a total of 89,000 citizens were there, and they were getting all the eligible age groups, including the first dose was given to them free of cost. This was done in less than 3 months of starting the third phase of COVID-19 vaccination. So that is something that is commendable for the Ladakhis, and it will definitely help them out a lot. Coming to the next news for the day is that Karnataka became the first state to reserve jobs for transgender persons. As you know that it has been very, very sad to see in our country the state of transgender community in the country. So now definitely this is something that is required from our end to see that this community also gets stronger and stronger with each passing day. Right now, the Karnataka is the first state in the country to provide a 1% reservations for transgender community in all government sectors and services. Now, the government also submitted a report to the High Court in this regard, informing that a notification has already been issued in the Karnataka Civil Services Rule of 1977. So this is a great step that is being taken by the Karnataka government to become the first state in the country to reserve jobs for the transgender persons. And this is how their social standing will be improved with time. And it is a natural occurring, so there is no problem in that. And they have been neglected in our country, but now they have given a chance. So that is something that is really great by the Karnataka government itself. Right now, that would be it for today. So I have given you a brief about the affairs of the month of July, so that it will help you something to figure out that what kind of newses have been there. So you can definitely read up more in these newses. If you want to go in detail, you can get into detail and understand these newses very well. So that will also help you to get better in your comprehension based passages. So try reading further on these newses, try going for a little more detail in these newses. So that will definitely help you to understand what kind of passages can be formed, what kind of principles can pop up. So do go ahead and read more upon these newses. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you all for joining the live session. And I will see you back on Monday with another live video for your legal affairs for the week. And we will be discussing all the legal affairs. So stay safe, stay healthy, use your masks and hand sanitizers, and maintain social distancing. If you are above 18, do get yourself vaccinated and take care of yourself. Bye-bye, guys. Take care and have a good day.